Hello, true crime lovelies. How are you? I hope you are well. I hope my microphone is connected. It has been a crazy day in true crime. We done found Donna. I just got a text at 8 that she's at Wakulla. So maybe when they're in transit, they don't put that out there until after they're secured in case I don't know, I hop on a plane, get to Leon County and chase down her transport van. One can never be too cautious. Anyway, let's get on to what happened in Arizona, the crazy that was going there. Listen, Lori, Noreen, Daybell, lying and deceiving. She's got extra crazy this go around, like crazy to spare. Let me thank the members and then we'll take a look at exactly what happened between she and Kranik before she got yeeted out of his courtroom. He had enough.
That sidebar again discussed similar issues of if the defendant brings in evidence or testimony that she was a good person and no ill intent and those sorts of things, and specific acts of her being a good person, it could open the door to other things that she may not want the door open to. The state, the defendant, and advisory council were at the bench when we had that short 1 minute sidebar, but I don't know if anyone wants to supplement the record on that. Ms. Kay?
Just, Your Honor, that again, the state did raise any issue of character evidence under 404A and 405, that if the defendant opens the door and tries to advise that she is a good person, a peaceful person, a kind person, a loving person, any of those other types of things, that we believe that would allow us under 405 to then bring in specific acts such as the murder of her children, her husband, and her current husband's wife.
Because good persons do not do that. So if she lies, we are going to show evidence to the contrary to the jury.
All right.
Which would also be 404B that they withdrew.
No, it'd be 405.
Yeah, they withdrew it, but if you bring up 404 that you...
Trina was going to correct her. They've East Idaho has fixed this audio because when I was watching it with Megan, the judge was really, really low. So I'm going to have to edit it because I think I came in loud. Anyway, Trina K was going to correct her, and then the judge was like, no, they can renew it. Even if they withdrew this other one, they can bring this one in. Girl, sit down, shut up. I'm so sick of you. Of course, he said it in a judicial way.
Then all 404B is in, or do we get a hearing on what 404B can come in? If I open the door, do I get a hearing? We stop trial and I get a hearing on...
Stop. We'll have a very short hearing, okay? If you're going to introduce how you have great character and good character, we're going to have a short hearing on what evidence that they can bring in to rebut that character, which could include being convicted of 4 murders. So
and would you
talk
like
to your advisory council during the break? And
you don't need to yell at me either.
Okay.
Yeah, you are, and you do not need to talk to me that way. I'm very courteous. I'm very courteous to you.
No, you have been nothing near courteous to me during the course of these proceedings. Talk with your advisory council about the rest of your cross. We're going to resume in 15 minutes.
It looks like he's trying to cuff her. Is that what he's doing? Or he's getting the key to get to the door? Because she's like walking off like he's not there with the gun, or that she doesn't have a stun belt on. And what is this going on underneath here? Does she have a vest and a belt on today? But I feel like he's trying to cuff her, but he doesn't give her any verbal commands. All right. And then she was gesturing at the judge. Okay, so it was a key for the door. She didn't flip him off. She gestured that way like she was still going to be talking to him. And then, and then this officer was like, girl, get yourself this way. And clearly the judge is leaving. They're not all rising for Lori. The judge is leaving the bench, so they're all rising for him. But she's crazy. Like, and am I going to get a hearing? Am I getting a hearing? A brief hearing, but he was getting agitated, and so I think he was just like, just get her out. Like that we're not equals. You don't speak to me that way, ma'am. And he wasn't yelling at her. It's a short one. Let's just go. Uh-oh. Thank you, Nate Eaton, for fixing the audio on this, but let's just go back and I'll be quiet so we can get it in its full vigor. She's full of piss and vinegar today, this one.
But if you bring up 404 that you...
Then all 404B is in, or do we get a hearing on what 404B can come in? If I open the door, do I get a hearing? We stop trial and I get a hearing on...
Stop. We'll have a very short hearing, okay? If you're going to introduce how you have great character and good character, we're going to have a short hearing on what evidence that they can bring in to rebut that character, which could include being convicted of 4 murders. So
and would you
talk
like...
to your advisory counsel during the break. And
you don't need to yell at me either. I'm
at you, okay?
Yeah, you are. And you do not need to...
She cut him off, right? So he's getting impatient. Just because he's taking a break, Daryl Brooks, doesn't mean that's gives you leave to speak. Typically, you would say, Your Honor, may I speak? Or Your Honor, I have one more. You ask permission. You don't on top of him, waiting for him to take a breath, and then you get in there. Okay, one more time and I'll be quiet. I promise this time.
So
and would you
talk
like...
to your advisory counsel during the break. And
you don't need to yell at me either. I'm...
Okay?
Yeah, you are. And you do not need to talk to me that way. I'm very courteous. I'm very courteous to you.
No, you have been nothing near courteous to me during the course of these proceedings. Talk with your advisory counsel about the rest of your cross. We're going to resume in 15 minutes.
Why is her jacket so big? Did she borrow her mom's jacket? I don't know how to be quiet. Clearly, I failed shut up classes. I gotta ask Kathy where they teach them. I didn't even fail it. I never took it. I never even heard of it till I met Kathy from Gossip Rumor and Innuendo. But like, she's so out of line. Like, it's not a tit for tat. He's not one of your flying monkeys where you get to talk him down. You're not equals. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, you get a hearing, but clearly you're gonna lose that hearing. Like, he's telling you the way that it's going to go. It has nothing to do with bias. It has to do with you extolling all your virtues that don't exist to the jury. And we know you're not going to take the stand, so they're not going to get a chance to ask you, right? So even if you do take the stand, why let that marinate in their mind for days that you're a good person? No, we're going to bust it wide open like a coconut, like somebody probably did to your head when you were little. Okay, that's all I have to say. Sugar Bear's in here now, so I should calm myself. You're going to say toodles?
Yeah.
Toodles.